here's a real good takeaway, and here's like, use this tomorrow with your kids, at work. We human beings, when we get hijacked, when we get down to 1 or 2 bytes of information, do you know what we do? We confuse impact for intent. What do I mean by that? About 8 years ago in Boston, we had this U.S. naval officer, high-performing leader, who had some challenges with hostility. He'd get upset, and it was starting to plateau his career. So he's doing a program with us, and over the course of 8 weeks, this kind of blended learning approach, he was improving. And he came back one day and he told us this story, and to me it was such a great story. He talked about how he was in at a Safeway the day before, and he has a personal value of being on time. It was 10 to 4, and he had to be somewhere at 4 o'clock, and he had about 20 items. So he's in the normal lineup. Beside him was the 12 items or less, and there's nobody there. Okay, and there's like 5 or 6 people, 7 or 8 people ahead of him, but he's going to do the right thing. So he's standing there, and he's starting to get a bit nervous and frustrated because it's taking a long time, and he notices the person 2 ahead of him is an older lady with 1 item, and he's just going ballistic. What the hell are you doing? He thinks to himself. She's got a baby and 1 item. And by the time he notices this, they're kind of further up to the front, and she's almost at the cashier, and then she's at the cashier. And now he's actually late. So he's just like, but he remembers this whole idea of stop and breathe because it calms the amygdala. Do you realize that? Just stop and breathe. Literally, what we call disengage to re-engage more powerfully. You stop and breathe, it increases your working memory. But he was doing that, so he's really proud of himself. Stop and breathe. And now the old lady gives the baby to the cashier, and they're playing with the baby. And now he's just going, like, he's like, I don't care about the stuff you're teaching me. This is just not right. Anyway, but he was still, actually, it was quite amazing because he didn't blow up there, and he normally would. So he gets to the cashier, and he's really impressed that he actually had enough working memory to say to the cashier, nice day, and, cute baby. And she said, thank you, that's my baby. My husband died in the Navy a year ago. That's my mom who brings my baby in once a day for me to see. And I think to myself, impact and intent. Right? There was an impact. Did it have anything to do with her intent? It had nothing to do. But things happen, people say things, it hits us, we have a feeling, and then we confuse that feeling for the actual intention of that person. And there's a reason we do that is because we make the majority of our jump to judgment based on less than 5% of available information. Be really careful not to confuse impact for intent. With your clients especially. I mean, at home, obvious, right? And I'll talk about that in a minute. But with our clients, when they're not returning a call, or they seem to be kind of like not giving us the feedback that they really like what we're doing, just be patient. Be positive. Be prepared. Don't jump to conclusions. Don't be afraid of the phone. Just stay patient and positive. Now at home, you know what's really interesting? If we studied everyone in this room today, you and your spouse or partner, we could predict with 94% accuracy which of you would still be together 5 years from today in a healthy, loving relationship based on one EQ quality. Do you know what that is? How skillfully we air our grievances. Because every relationship you will be in with your manager, with your significant other, you will have tension and complexity, and it'll be hard. Can you calm your amygdala? Can you not confuse impact for intent? Can you not get to black or white? Because the world is not black and white, it's gray. And if we're at 5 or 6 bytes of information in our working memory, we can get to gray. We can see from another person's point of reference and include ours and theirs, as opposed to we're at 1 or 2 and I'm right and they're wrong. Or, do you see that?